What's up guys, it's time for the HTC One full review. So I'm going to start this off with design and build quality. And I think the design is absolutely fantastic. If you just look at this here, it just looks like a premium device. It feels like they've designed every single curve for your need. They literally put every curve on it and designed it to perfection. It really does feel like that when you pick it up. When you pick it up, guys, it's got an aluminium casing, it's fully metal, and it, again, feels great in your hand. It feels like a premium device. It feels so damn sexy, you don't want to put it down, put it that way. It's right up there with the iPhone in terms of build quality. It's definitely, hands down, the best Android device in terms of build quality. HTC have always held this title, but this one is, again, a step above. It feels very solid. If you just listen to the volume rocker clicks, you'll hear that. I don't know how well that came through on the camera, guys, but, you know, it feels very solid in the hand. Everything feels stupidly well built. It feels like it's not going to break on you. It doesn't feel like these are going to, the volume rockers or the power buttons is going to stop working at any point. It feels stupidly well built. Now, if we just take a tour around the device, we have the capacitive buttons here. We don't have on-screen buttons. You've got your boom sound speakers on the front. You've also got your sensors over here, your front-facing camera over here, which is a 2.1 megapixel camera. On the right, you've got your volume rockers. On the left, you've pretty much got nothing except your SIM card slot. On the top, you've got a power button. You've got your headphone jack and your micro USB as well, which is also a video out if you have that MHL cable. On the back, guys, you've got your ultra pixel camera, which is actually only a 4 megapixel camera, but I say only. Don't judge it by the megapixels. It's not what it's about. If we just look at the back here, even the back looks so damn sexy. I don't know why. Just HTC know how to make phones. They just know how to design it. It absolutely looks amazing. And I think hands down it beats the Galaxy S range in terms of design and build. There's just no question. Okay guys, moving on to the screen. Now this is one of the major selling points for any mobile device, and the HTC One does not disappoint. Let's go through some of the specs. So we've got a 4.7-inch screen here, 1920 by 1080p, Super LCD 3, and a pixel density of 469. That is through the roof, guys. You're not going to get a mobile device with a better pixel density right now. This is the king. And in my opinion, I really think this screen is the king of any mobile device. It's better than the iPhone Retina display, in my opinion. It's better than the Super AMOLED displays of the Galaxy S range. I'm sure that's just opinion-based, but I really do think it's the best. And the reason is, guys, you know, it has great color reproduction. Colors are absolutely fantastic. They're very vivid, but they also stay true to life, which is one of the problems of the Super AMOLED display. I'll show you a little bit later on more pictures on the screen. You'll just see how damn vibrant this screen is. And it's super sharp. I don't know how well this will come through on the camera, but man, is this screen sharp. It's just so cool. It's so good to look at. You kind of don't want to put it down. You don't want to stop looking at it because everything is so sharp. It just looks amazing. I can't put it in any other way. The screen is the best. Underneath the hood of the HTC One, guys, you've got the Snapdragon 600, which is a 1.7 gigahertz quad-core CPU, coupled with the Adreno 320 GPU and 2 gigabytes of RAM. Now, what this translates to is an absolute buttery UI, and if I just navigate around here, you'll see there is no lags. I haven't encountered any lags in this device, guys. It is so damn smooth. You can see you can scroll through blink feed at stupid speed here. It is very quick, and I've got to say I'm impressed with Sense. Normally Sense is a bit of a hog and it slows it down. Not Sense 5 and not with the Snapdragon 600. It's very quick. Let me just open some apps here to show you it. I'll close out all my apps. Let's just do a quick speed test here. So we'll open up some apps here. Pretty damn quick. Now once it's in memory, guys, it's even faster. It's basically instant. So if I open that up again, you can see boom, it's straight there. Animation's quick, animation's smooth, and it's in your face. You're ready to go. Let's open up some more. Facebook, usually quite a slow app, but again, very quick on the HTC One. Gallery, you can just see you're not going to be waiting around when using this, guys. It is basically instant. And like I said, once they're in memory, it's not even a question of loading. Look, it's just crazy, crazy, crazy speed. Like I said, I haven't got this device to slow down. I did try. I've opened up loads of apps and it just didn't. It just does not slow down. So it's fantastic. So you got the HTC One browser here. Messaging, you know, it is so damn smooth. You can even open YouTube, and YouTube is quite a slow app to open sometimes. Not on the HTC One. It's instant. It's just so damn quick. We'll check out some benchmarks a little bit later on in the video, guys. But as you can see, performance is absolutely stellar with the Snapdragon 600. Okay guys, so let's move on to the software. If we dive into the settings here, And again, you can just see how quick that opened. If we go to software information, you can see Android version 4.1.2. So we are running Jelly Bean. We're not running the latest iteration of Android, which is 4.2.2, which you'll find on the Nexus devices. Nonetheless, you still get the Google Now features and all that sort of stuff. On top of that, guys, you've got HTC's own custom skin, which, as we know, is HTC Sense, and it's the latest version. It's 5.0. Now, Sense is usually a major battery hog and a resource hog. I think they've done a lot better with Sense 5. You know, it's got a lot of extra features that you might use, but it's a lot closer to stock Android in a lot of ways. You know, they haven't put loads of ridiculous stuff on the home screen. They've added some widgets. The app drawer's different. You can see it does different animations, but it's still a lot closer to stock Android than it used to be. So it's an improvement. Now, one of the added features they did here was adding blink feed. If I swipe to the left, guys, this is what blink feed is. And well, this actually comes as your default home screen. I didn't want that, so I changed it. But if you don't know what this is, guys, basically think of Flipboard for Android, but for HTC and built in. This is built in. You can't turn it off. It's always there. You can add topics and services here. You click that. You can see you can add the Guardian Independent, all this other stuff. You can also add your apps. For example, I've added Facebook. You can add Flickr. You can add LinkedIn, Twitter, all this other stuff as well. You can add that. And what it does is brings all that information in on sync and gives it to you in this nice kind of way. At the moment, I think I've only got apps showing. So if I pull this down and go to highlights, it will show all the stuff. And you can see you've got tips. You've got Facebook. You can see the little F. You've got TechCrunch here. And you can scroll through this. You can just see how quick it all runs. If you click into one of the Facebook ones, it'll open up your Facebook app. If you open up a website one, for example, this, it'll open up a mini little page. It's cool that it doesn't open up a whole browser because that would be hella annoying. So I'm glad it doesn't do that. It opens up a little page where you can quickly see it and then you can quickly go back as well. So blink feed is going to be a kind of love or hate thing, guys. Obviously, with it syncing in the background, it will take battery, and yeah, you can't turn it off, guys. So if you actually don't want to use blink feed, what you have to do is basically untick and unsync all of your stuff to be able to stop using it. Nonetheless, I haven't found it being a complete battery hog, and the battery life is actually pretty good on Sense. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, moving on, guys. Let's check out the gallery. So this is going to be a love or hate thing. Basically, you can see this picture here that basically looks like porn, right? And it could well maybe, and that's the thing, because you can see here under the icon is friends. Now, what this does, because I've linked up Facebook, it puts all my Facebook images in my gallery. So you can see all this stuff isn't mine. You can see the F on it. All this stuff came and synced from my Facebook. So if I go into friends here, you can see I can pick all the different friends from my Facebook. So all of their stuff that they put on Facebook, you're going to be able to find in your gallery. I'm not sure if I like that. You know, it takes up a lot of space. You can see here, there's just pages and pages of stuff that I'm not going to look through, basically. But yeah, there you go. There you have it. That's the way they've done it. You can also click into My Photos and Camera Shots. If I do that here, I'll click into Camera Shots. This is what I took on the camera. These are the ones that came with it. I'll talk about the camera a little bit later, guys, but obviously with this you get the whole Zoe feature, and that's really cool. I'll show you right now a little bit of the Zoes, but I'll talk about them later. So if you click highlight, guys, actually don't click highlight, click My Photos, change this to events. You can see it puts your pictures in events, and it tells you the date and where they're in. So you can see once you click into these, all the pictures I took on the day. You can see this big picture up here. If you click this, it actually automatically makes a little kind of cool video and preview of all the pictures you took with some nice music. Now, this is obviously just me testing out the camera, but for example, if you went to a wedding or, you know, a party or something like that that took a day, you could make a nice little thing here, a nice little video, and you could export this, put it on Facebook, put it on YouTube. You don't have to do, the great thing about this, guys, is you don't have to do anything. It does this all for you. You can, of course, change the kind of sounds and pictures if you want to change the kind of theme of it. But it's very impressive. I think it's a cool feature to have, you know. If you go to a party or a wedding, you can do this. You can put it on Facebook. You can share it to people. You can export it out. You can do whatever the hell you want. So I think that's cool. And that's the kind of Zoe feature. I'll show you the Zoes in more detail a bit later, guys. But let's just dive into the settings and see what they've done to the settings as well in Sense. You can see there the power saver mode. That's always there. I can't turn that off. And that is another thing with Sense. You can see how how very professional Sense looks in terms of the settings. You've got your Beats audio and stuff like that. If I click into power here, guys, you've got some power saver options that are only available for Sense. You've also got sleep mode. The power saver is actually quite useful. If you're running out of battery, it will downclock your CPU from 1.7 to 1.1. It'll also turn off your vibration and dim your screen brightness, so it will save you some battery there. But yeah. Okay, guys, so moving on to battery life. Now, this device comes with a 2,300 milliamp hour battery, and everyone is kind of curious of how it's going to act with a 1080p display and such a strong processor. Well, I've done my tests and I can show you right now. So I took some screenshots. If we go back out, we'll find those albums. Where are we? Screenshots. Here we go. So I made a video separately on this, but I have some extra data today. You can see at this point it lasted 14 hours and 19 minutes, and it only got down to 59%. And I was on Wi-Fi most of the time here, guys, but I was using my phone as normal. All the syncs were on, you know, all that stuff, all Facebook, Twitter, Gmails, YouTube, internet, all that sort of stuff was available. I didn't put it on charge. I got through the next day, I got to 10%, and I put the power saver mode on. You can see I finished at 5%. It lasted a day, 8 hours and 20 minutes. And you can see here, this is the second day, guys. From the second day, I had it completely on 3G, no Wi-Fi whatsoever. So it's easily going to get you through heavy usage. And if I show you my extra stats that I did now, by the way, HTC have actually taken out the usage in terms of the screen. You can see Sense is taking up quite a lot in terms of the usage, but you can't see how much screen on time. So I installed, thanks to a lot of comments, better battery stats, which we can see here. And it tells you exactly what's going on. It tells you how long the screen's been awake. So let me just show you the initial page first. Go into the settings. The phone has been awake for a day, or it's been on for a day, 2 hours, 43 minutes. I can tell you guys, if we look at the usage graph there, that is pretty much the overnight bit, the straight line. But I use this, and I've been playing games on it because I did my gaming review. You can see here, if I go to usage, I've got Nova 3 there, Modern Combat 4, Spider-Man, Vice City, Temple Run, all that sort of stuff is there. And I probably played games for about 40 minutes. Now, if I go to better battery stats, see the screen on time here, 3 hours, 32 minutes, 6 minutes, and we're down to, what were we down to? 33%. And that's with a day, 2 hours and 44 minutes. So you've got 3.5 hours, 33%, a day, 2 hours, 44 minutes. Pretty damn good usage, if I'm honest, guys. You're going to easily, I think even the heaviest user is going to get through a day. For example, if you don't play games, I honestly think you're probably going to get plus 6 hours screen on time here. I have also got automatic brightness on and stuff like that. And I was on, I'm on Wi-Fi right now, but for most of this day here, I was actually on 3G. So I'm very impressed with the battery life here. You're easily going to get through a day if you're a heavy user. If you're a kind of moderate user, you're probably going to get through 2 or 3 days, if I'm honest. So good battery life on the HTC One, guys. Very good. Up next, guys, we're going to check out the camera. Now, HTC went in a different direction. They didn't just go for the megapixel count. They went for the ultra pixel, which basically means it's a larger pixel than normal cameras use, and it grabs in 40% more light than other camera phones. It's going to do better in low light and stuff like that. Now, let's just open up the camera and check out the interface here. So here are the options you get when you press the little menu button. You can change your camera to the front or main. You've got different scene modes, HDR, night, all that sort of stuff. If you go to video capture, guys, you've got slow motion, fast HD, but it's only 720p, and what am I saying? Video HDR, full HD. That's what I was trying to say. And that is the 1080p. So yeah. Now, one of the main things with this camera, guys, is this new Zoe feature. Now, when you click this, you can see Zoe mode comes over here. And what this does basically, guys, is take a short video clip. So if I do this, you can see the bar here fill up with red. Once it's done, you're done. You can click into this now and bar here fill up with red. That is your Zoe. Now, what you can do with this, guys, is quite cool. So basically, if you have a moment where you're not quite sure when you're going to get the shot, use a Zoe and you'll probably get it. And then you can kind of move your frame around. So you can see here, I can move the frames. Oops, I can move the frames here. So if I want this one or this one, I can click that. I can save that frame and use that as a picture. So you can see save frame. You can also do a lot of editing features. So if you click edit Another menu appears. You've got different effects here, auto enhance, all that sort of stuff. If you press retouch, guys, you've got sequence shot, always smile, object removal, which I've tried a few times and I haven't had much luck with it. It never seems to pick the right object. Saying that, I've never had a picture where like someone's clearly stepped in the way. So maybe it is possible, maybe it's not. Who knows? If we click it now, I don't think it'll find anything. Yeah, because there isn't anything in there. Always smile means it'll only take the picture when you're smiling. A few other options like that as well. You've also got crop and flip and stuff like that. Now, the reason these Zoes are so cool is, as I showed you earlier, if you go to the gallery now, guys, like I said, it kind of gives you that thing where it makes its own little video. If you have loads of these and you go to, say, I don't know, if you go to a wedding and you do loads of Zoes, these will look a hell of a lot better than just single shots. So for example, if I click this one that I did earlier, so you can see the single shots, but then the Zoes look a hell of a lot better because they're moving, you can see. So you want to kind of do everything in Zoes, and then this little clip that it makes will look absolutely awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much the camera, guys. Now in terms of its performance, I was pretty happy with it. It's okay. It's not, I don't think it's quite the level we thought it was going to be. Pictures look great. It drags in a hell of a lot of light. You can see here, compared to my Nexus 4, it does pull in a lot more light. But in terms of clarity and detail, you can see that it does blur out. You can't quite zoom in. It's only 4 megapixels. So when you look at it like this and it's wide angle lens, you get a full screen view and it looks fantastic. It's when you start zooming in that you start seeing the downfalls of the 4 megapixel camera. If I show you some low light stuff, we'll find that somewhere. Here we go. So this is when I was outside and it was completely dark and I just had the lamp on. Compared to my Nexus 4, the HTC One pulled so much more light in. There's just a light source here, but otherwise it's completely dark. My Nexus 4 basically got none of this detail. So the low light stuff is definitely amazing on this camera. So if you take a lot of low light pictures, this is going to be the one for you guys. Moving on, guys, I'll check out the browser. Now I did a whole review on browser performance, so I'm not going to go through too much. But you can see we've actually got 2 browsers. They both come pre-installed. You've got Google Chrome and HTC browser, and you know this gives you kind of Flash, which comes pre-installed, guys. You can see enable Flash Player here, and this is basically a rework of the old AOSP browser. So you get kind of all the features. If I click, whoops, click the wrong button there. If I click settings, go down into labs, you've got your quick controls, which is like that pie feature, which is kind of cool. So you can see here, you can bring it in. You've got all the same features that you normally do, share, back, refresh, all that stuff is there. In terms of browser performance, so this HTC browser is very good. The Snapdragon 600 really pushes it along. You can see it's very smooth. Like I said, I'm not going to go into it too much on this. You can check out my browser comparison or my detailed browser review, sorry, a little bit later on in a different video. But it's pretty damn smooth as you'd expect from a high-end smartphone. There's nothing wrong with it. It loads pages nice and quick. You can see text reflows. Everything is snappy. So okay, guys, yeah. So one of the awesome features with the HTC One has got to be this boom sound. Now you really have to be or see it or hear it, I should say, in real life to be able to really understand what it's all about. I've got to say it's absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to play a clip in YouTube here. I'm sure you won't be able to hear it as clearly as, say, I can hear it, but it really is amazing. I've got to say. I'm just going to choose a song here. Okay, guys, so I've got Enter Sandman. I'm ready to play. We'll hit play and just see if you can listen to this sound. It's absolutely fantastic. I know you probably won't be able to hear it, but it really does sound fantastic. The algorithms that Beats Audio's got and all the other stuff they went into boom sound really makes a difference. There's so much more character, there's so much more sound, more bass, more everything that comes with this boom sound speakers, guys. So okay, guys, yeah. Checking out some benchmarks. You can see I've run Quadrant here and it's top of the list by a mile, 12,539. CPU gets all the way up to 7,500 by itself. So this Snapdragon 600 is no joke. We know Quadrant isn't the best in terms of tests, so let's check out another one. Okay, guys, and here's Geekbench 2. This is predominantly a CPU benchmark, and you can see it scores 2,559. If we hit the compare mark and check out the other devices, it comes top of the list again, beating out the Nexus 10, the Nexus 4, Galaxy Note 2, Galaxy S3, and the Xperia Tablet S. So pretty good performance there. You can see 1.73 gigahertz. We'll check out another one. And there you go, guys. You can see Antutu scores 23,504, which again is a very, very good score if we check out the charts and rankings. Slide over there. You can see the Galaxy S4 is the only thing that beats it. I guess that's the Snapdragon 600 with 1.9 gigahertz. I'm not sure, but you can see it beats out everything else. Pretty conclusive in terms of the benchmarks, guys. You can see it scores very well in pretty much everything. To sum up, guys, I think HTC really pulled it out with the HTC One. The build quality is fantastic. The screen is unparalleled. You've got all the specs in there. You've got the 1080p display. You've got the boom sound, which is fantastic. You've also got stuff like the Snapdragon 600, you know, you've got Blink Feed, you've got all that Sense 5 stuff that's kind of cool. It's an absolute fantastic device, and I really think they've nailed it with this one. It's going to compete right up there with the Galaxy S4. In terms of price and storage, guys, this is pretty much another win for the HTC One. I paid £490 for the 32GB version. It does only come in 32 and 64GB variants. Doesn't have an external SD card slot, but you get a lot of space for the base model. So that's pretty decent. In comparison, guys, the Galaxy S4 is coming out at about £580 for the 16GB model, but it is going to have expandable storage. So that just tells you about how expensive the Galaxy S4 is going to be. And take that into account. This is going to go toe-to-toe with the Galaxy S4, and I really do think it's a very, very good competitor. There's no chance it's going to get completely smashed by the S4. I just don't see it. So, yeah, well done to HTC One.